Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? I hope you've had a better day than me. We have had a wild and wacky day in the market today, per usual. We got a lot to review. I'm gonna get down and gritty and nitty, or however you say it, however the saying is. We're going to go over some things, and I'm gonna break down a couple of my trades on the day and how I did. First and foremost, I want to thank anybody and everyone that does watch these videos. I do appreciate it, as I am still going through my learning journey, process and journey in the markets, and just trying to become better one day at a time. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently this day today. I'm gonna start off with the big boys. We're gonna break it down from top down. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna break it down from the top. We're gonna start out, zoomed out a little bit, and then kind of zoom in is how we're gonna start doing these. So I'm gonna start with the monthly. All right, monthly, right? We're in a 3 month balance. Okay, this high, this low. 3 month balance, right? Right now we've just been kind of chopping around, trading inside the middle of that range. So we're in a 3 month balance. Balance just purely means market wants more market generated, excuse me, blank there for a minute. MGI, market generated information. The market is wanting more information to see where the directional move wants to go. All right, let's look at our weekly. Our weekly is in a balance. You can call it a 3 week balance right here, or you can call it a multi-week balance using this whole range. Either or is perfectly fine. I'm using this large range here for the weekly. That is my weekly range. So that's how I'm viewing it. You can say that this is a balance here as well, and you won't be wrong, right? Because either way, if we take out uh, this weekly high, then the weekly will go from balance to up, no matter what. It's basically the same weekly high. Uh, so the weekly balance. Now the daily. Yesterday I was talking about how I might consider it being a going from balance to up, and then if we opened up or traded inside and remained inside on the daily, then it would be a continue to be balanced for me. Well, the daily is now clearly up. I'm gonna say it's one time framing up now, 2 days in a row, because we took out on Monday, we took out Friday's high, and then today on Tuesday we took out Monday's high. So on the daily, we're one time framing up. We today we back tested the 50-day moving average, right? We pushed up above it, back tested it, and then we close above it. So we now have 2 days above the 50 and the 20-day moving average. This all may change. One day doesn't make a market, 2 days doesn't make a market. This all may change as today is election day. So if you haven't, go out and vote. Um, get that vote in, and then hopefully they'll have everything calculated and ready to go, and announcing who is in offices and all that jazz, and that may have an effect on the market. Who knows? Maybe this was a buy the rumor and then sell the news type of day, and then I'll kind of explain that going into our shorter time frame. So we now looked at the daily, one time frame and up. Let's go into our 30-minute intraday time frame. So now we're looking at our intraday. Um, let's go ahead and go through and label all these time frames. Like I said, for the profile people, you kind of already know, but I use TPO on Thinkorswim or on TD Ameritrade, and I use bar charts to kind of complete that. On a normal profile, each time frame is labeled by a letter, kind of like I have them labeled here, A, B, C, A through M. But on the profile, it actually appears as that letter. But each one is it's nothing but a 30-minute time frame. So let's go in and go ahead and label our time frames here because I have to manually do it. Uh, so that's A period. This is B period. And then I'm just going to go through and label all these real quick. if I can. And then we'll go through and kind of break down what happened today. And as you can see, it was kind of a wild ride. Uh, Thrills and chills for everyone. G, then we'll label H. Who would have thought? Here I am in my mid-20s, still doing the ABCs, right? You would think I'd know everything by now. JK, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. JKL, and then we have M period, M. All right, so let's break down what happened today. I'm going to kind of just zoom in. You'll focus on the right-hand side of my screen, and we'll kind of break it down period by period. All right, so in A period, we open up, right? We open up an A period. It was kind of a wild move. We opened with a gap above previous day's high. So previous day high was right there at 38.2175. This little red line up here, 38.27 was our gap. So we gapped above by about 6 points, right? We pushed up a little high, and then we came in immediately and closed the gap. Then we pulled down, got near the settlement, and then decided, all right, maybe that's all we wanted to do. Close the gap. B period opens up. We push up above the opening, and then we begin to one time frame up in B period, taking out, once again, we take out the day's high, we take out A's high, and then we take out the overnight high. So now guess what? B pushes up. We're looking to go trend. We have what we call a set of single prints, right? So we have a set of single prints here in B period, right? Here. So this, where I just marked, is a set of single prints. So then we go into C period. C opens up, pulls back into that set of single prints. Now single prints is just where bids were strong as short covering kind of occurred, or people were buying to cover their shorts from where they had sold. So a lot of short covering, bids came in, momentum buyers came in, and then in C period we pulled back a little bit. So now that set of single prints got a little bit smaller. We pulled back, right? We pulled back. We found some more bids because there's still people trapped in this area. Bids were strong, buyers were strong. So then we go to look to take out the IB high. Remember the initial balance is just A period and B period, the range of that of those first two time frames, right? And then in B period, kind of closes the initial balance. Now, whichever side we take out usually kind of gives you an indication of which way the day is going to go. So in C period, when we pulled back and then pushed back up, we took out B's high, right? And I said yesterday in yesterday's video, if we find acceptance over today's or previous day's high, yesterday's high, we will go trade at that 12 wide pocket. Well, guess what? Boom. We hit that 12 wide pocket and then got above it. So now guess what? We have another set of single prints. C period looks to go trend. We have another set of single prints here in C period. This is where they start, and this is where they start, and this is where they fill. B's high. So then we go into E period or D period. D decides, all right, let's pull back a little bit. We pull back some pretty strong liquidation a little bit, but we still hold our set of single prints as we still found bids that are supporting from B's short covering and then C short covering. Well, D decides, all right, let's keep on going, keep on chugging along. Nothing but short covering, Momo buyers, bids are coming into the market pretty strong. We have another set of single prints in D period. So I'm just marking these out to kind of give you guys the tone of what was going on for those that don't know or view the market the way I view it, or anybody in my mentor's room views it. So now we're in D period. D period closes. Now we have another set of single prints. So we're still trend up. We've done nothing but one time frame up all day long. So B takes out A's high, we're one time framing up. C takes out B's high, we're one time framing up. D takes out C's high, we're one time framing up. So we have 1, 2, 3 sets of single prints now. Guess what? Probability of E period. Guess what? Probability E takes out D's high. Pretty good probability there. So all morning long, anybody that was buying, even blindly buying, you were getting paid because we were one time framing up and bids were strong in the market as shorts were covering. So in E period, we push up, we take out D's high, we continue to one time frame up. So at this point in time, buyers have the open, they have value that is completely higher. They've taken out the overnight high, they've taken out the IB high, the initial balance high. They're one time framing up. They've created a set of single prints in B, C, and in D now, right? They've created 3 sets of single prints. Oh, crap. No, that's not what I wanted. They've created 3 sets of single prints. I'm just trying to give you guys a gauge of what was going on. Created 3 sets of single prints. We're trending up. So like I said, any pullback is a buy. And then in E period, guess what? We create another set of single prints. Not a very large set, but it's still a set of single prints nonetheless. Then finally, in F period, we don't take out E's high, we take out E's low. So we kind of stop the one time framing up by taking out E's low. We fill E's set of single prints. Okay, so from 38.61.51 or 38.61.50 to 38.57.50 was a set of single prints. Those got filled once F period pulled back. So showing that, all right, there might start being, we start to get a little top heavy here. It even got into D set of single prints a little bit because they started at 38.56. F's low was 38.55.25. So we pull back a little bit. We find some more bids. We rotate back up, but we never take out the day's high. Then G period comes along. G can't take out F's high or low. We kind of just chop in between. Then H period comes along. All right, now H is where things get real freaking wacky. All right. So after not being able to take out the day's high in F or in G period, the market started to get pretty long up here. There's a lot of chopping. We weren't really going anywhere. People that were buying up here were hoping to make a new day on or new high on the day. I was one of those people, making a new high on the day because probability is right. We've been one time framing up all day. Probability is in the favor of the buyers. So on pullbacks, anybody that was buying was getting paid for small little scalps, but they weren't making new highs on the day. Now in H period, we finally run some stops in F and G. We take those out, but we don't get the day's high. We don't set a new high on the day. Well, immediately after that, we start to roll over, right? H starts to pull back a little bit. We get into D period single prints. So now I'm going to go ahead and just show you the full view here. So H, we take out F and G's high. We don't take out E's high, nor do we put a new high on the day. We roll over. We take out G and F's low. So now we have a reversal bar, which is pretty powerful, showing that there's plenty of supply up here. We run the stops, the lower stops, and we filled D period set of single prints. So now one of our single prints, or 2 of our single prints are gone now. We take out that, so there are no more bids lying or resting in this area. Too much supply. We continue to push down. As we're pushing down, people that were long are starting to exit their positions. All right, we continue to roll down, roll down. We take out D's low. We run some stops there. We fill the next set of single prints, which is in C period. Right, we're pulling back, we're pulling back. We dip our toe into B periods set of single prints. The last line in the sand for buyers. We dip our toe. And then finally H closes, right? So we have a pretty large liquidation here And I know this video is long. I'm sorry for anybody that is sticking around. I'm explaining this thoroughly so you have a pretty good idea of what happened. What happened today is absolutely bizarre and is not a normal thing. It doesn't happen on a regular. This year, it's happened more times than it should or it normally does. And that's just because people are more fragile and algos kind of exaggerate things. So after longs up here weren't getting paid, we had a liquidation. Liquidation of 34 and a half points. That's a lot of points. Just to give you an example, F and G were only an 8.25 or yeah, an 8 point range for F and G. Those are only 8 points. 16 points in D, 14 points in C, 20 points in B. H period was 34 points to the downside, right? So we have a pretty large liquidation break. I period comes in, takes out H's low, and guess what? We fill the set of single prints, the last line in the sand. So now we've taken back our whole trend day up. We are now one time framing down, an I period, J period opens up. We get the open in the I period. J period opens up. We get the open. So bulls no longer have the opening. That's out the window. That's the only thing they have. They don't even have the indices anymore. Those are out the window. The only thing they have is a value that's higher. They're not one time framing up anymore. They have value that's higher, the overnight high, and the IB high. That's it. Well, guess what? Kiss the IB low goodbye because in J period, after taking out I's low, we get even more liquidation. We continue to push lower. We're back in the previous day's range. We take out the day's low, our initial balance low, which in theory we shouldn't have seen at all because we had 4 sets of single prints to the upside, right? A lot of stuff in the buyer's favors are just getting wiped out. So we watched one hell of a boxing match here as, in the first half of the day, you know, the bulls, the buyers were beating the shit out of any of the shorts. And then finally, you know what, the shorts got pissed off, said, "Nope, let's put you back in the ground real quick." Well, we did just that as we took out the initial balance low, and then we go and take out the set of single prints, as you can see here, from the previous day. And then we dip our toe into the lower distribution. So after breaking out of the upper distribution in J, filling the single prints, we dip our toe into the lower distribution, but we never got to that 9 wide POC. K period pushes lower, but doesn't seem to want to get much extension. Not much tempo below the day's low. Can't get the 9 wide POC. We rotate up. We actually had a set of single prints here. So after filling that set of single prints, we had a set of single prints. Take shots for every time I say single print. We had a set of single prints here where I just marked in J period. So the market kind of looked like this now, right? When we closed. And then K period opens up, fills that set of single prints because they don't want to go trend down. So we actually had a trend day down so from going to a trend day up, being up 1.5% to now a trend day down into the lower distribution. K decides, nope, let's go push up Curly. He's like, yep, let's push back into the day's range, get above the previous day's high, revisit the open. And then guess what? L and M, anybody that short down here decided, hey, let's start covering our position, get out. So we push up an L and then M rolls back over. So today we don't have anything to lean on. We only end with the day's low and the day's high. That's it. That's all we have. The day's low and the day's high. So with all that being said, I hope you guys can understand that that was an absolutely wild day to watch and be a part of. Truly historic times that I'm trading in right now. And as a beginner and newer trader, sometimes these markets are tough to read. Uh, as normally, one would look to take longs on pullbacks against single prints because things are in favor of buyers. You can no longer rely on that anymore. Market generated information is not as strong as it once was when it comes to these single prints. So just look out when you're dealing with stuff like this. So let me go over some trades real quick. In E period, I took long on a pullback as we had 3 sets of single prints below and everything on the checklist was in favor of the buyers. So I was long a 4 lot at 60.25 and got flat at 62. So nice 2 points. Got long again in G period. Got long again in G period against F slow. Why? Because we've been one time framing up. We have single prints below. Uh, so I got long 59.25 and got out 61.25. Another 2 point gain, just scalping because I came in late in the day and missed most of this initial move. Uh, wanted to make sure I protected myself. So I also had stops in at the time, right? So if G would have taken out F slow, would have got stopped out, looked for another long. Then I got short in G period. Once we pushed up, I took a short in G period against F's high because we had a two-sided trade. We hadn't taken out the day's high yet in F. We were 3 wide, now 4 wide in G. And when I say that, I mean by my point of control, which is this yellow line here. Point of control was up here. And as you can see, that's where a lot of volume was in this volume spike right here. So it was long, and then I got short in G against F's high because I was like maybe we'll chop around up here, come back down, and so I was short. Got 56. Oh no, I got my entry in at 62, and then I had my stop at 64.50 just in case. And then when it pulled back, because it was kind of chopping, not doing a whole lot, the range wasn't wide, so I got out for a 1 point gain at 61. I got short in H period, believe it or not, against the day's high in an attempt to fade the edge and rotate back down to the POC to get 5 wide. Uh, I was long, all right, I got short right around, I believe 65 is where I was short, and when it came back in, I got out 58. So it was a really good trade. Um, shit, I should have held it. I would have had my whole day made right there in H period. But instead, when we pulled back, I decided, you know what, let me get out of this trade because, we were 5 wide at 57 and a half. I wanted to front run it at 58. Good trade. So I then decided on the pullback in H period, I had resting bids in the single prints in D period, right? So I was looking to get long in the single prints in D period to see if we get a reactional push back up. Well, in H, not only were longs getting too long up there and then got liquidated, we had some news event. The EBC or ECB came out and said, what was it? It was some headline stating that recession was the baseline, whatever the hell that means. But it exaggerated the move to the downside once we took out these stops because literally as soon as we ran these stops and got into the single prints, that headline came out and those algos went absolutely nuts and caused a massive liquidation break to the downside. So I was long. I started buying in D period around 55 and 50, and then on the pullback, it was so quick I didn't get stopped out until 40. So I was already down 10 points on 10 to 15 points on that trade. Well, guess what? I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll find some buyers here. We're just looking for an afternoon pullback low. It's okay. We still have 2 more sets of single prints to lean on. We get into C period. We fill that set of single prints. I'm like, all right, not going to buy yet. And I finally decided to buy around 36 to 38. Oh, actually, I bought 30. I thought I bought 40, bought 38, and then I bought one more time around 30. So I was long a 3 lot on just one account. I went to the other account and began buying on that account as well. And then on the other account, went and bought some on that account as well because I'm looking, you know what, we're 5 wide up here. Everything's been in the buyer's favor all day long. Why can't we rotate back up? Well, while I was doing all that buying, I didn't have a hard set stop put in place. Now, this is where things get real bad for anybody that trades. If you're going to have a position, have an area where you're willing to get out, either for the loss, where your trade is going to be incorrect, or where your max amount of pain is going to be for the amount of money you're willing to lose. I did not have one set, and then in I period when we pulled back, I didn't. At this point, I'm just trading based off my emotions. We had a pretty heavy liquidation happen in I as well, And once we got the open, I took all the trades off for a pretty hefty loss on the day. I mean, I have no issue saying that I took losses on the day. With the MGI at the time, I was comfortable taking the trade, and being the size I was, the only thing that I could have done better was have a stop in place that could have prevented me to have such a large loss. And then I could have noticed in H period, the tempo at which we started to push down, that tempo was more than what we've been seeing all day long. So, something was up. I could have sensed that, but instead I allowed fear to get a hold of me, and not having my stop in. Those were the combination of a massive loss, and it killed my day. It killed my week, and up to this, it killed last month's gains. All that. So just if you're trading, be careful out there. Have your stops in, and then that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna go ahead and put. I know this video is a little bit longer. I appreciate it if you've watched to the end. This is definitely one that um, I'm always going to try to be as transparent with you guys as I possibly can be. Uh, it's a tough job, not a job, tough hobby to kind of partake in, as especially in these times where things are a little bit more dicey. Um, so yeah, those are my trades on the day. I ended up with a cumulatively about a $6,000 loss net across all three accounts. So not a good day for me. I completely and utterly accept the fact that I was ignorant, not ignorant, just dumb, being dumb, and did not have my stop put in. And I've been hurt by that multiple times. So that's something I'm going to work on in the future. Hopefully, I will do better. And anybody that is trading, I hope that if you're struggling with something like that you learn your lesson and you don't lose as much money as I have trying to learn this simple lesson. Um, so, with that being said, let's go over the destinations real quick, and then I'm gonna hop off here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. So, upside destinations, we have 38.67 today's high. From there, 39.07 high of day from the second of this month, and then from there, 39.24.25 weekly high. Downside destinations. Low of day 37.92.25 or 75, 37.92.75 was our low of day today. We get that. We should go see that 9 wide POC at 37.88.75 and then the low of day at 37.71.25. Uh, I'm just going to leave it at that because tonight, like I said, is the elections. So I do not know how that's going to, cause the market to react. So I'm just kind of looking to, you know, if I were to say that this market should continue up, I'll be wrong if we take out tomorrow's low. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to trade what's in front of me. I do think the more probable thing is to continue to one-time frame up, potentially, because we've been doing that. That's what's been happening, right? But that doesn't mean we can't come and take out today's low and then put the daily back into a balance and even maybe go get the early low, especially if the markets do not like who was elected in the offices. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is an extremely long video. I hope you take it with a grain of salt. Have a wonderful day. Have your stops in, and I'll catch you guys in another one. See ya.